Hi, this is Jeff Roberti. I'm coming to you from Sarasota, Florida, and I'd like to share with you a little bit about my story. I got introduced to the network marketing profession a little over 30 years ago. And I don't know if any of you have ever been a waiter or waitress before, or if any of you have ever been broke before, but I was a former ex-broke waiter. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of being behind on my bills in life, my promises in life, to myself, to my friends, to my family. And I guess the word I'm looking for is I was dissatisfied. But you ever meet somebody that just has a really good work ethic and they're hungry, they got a burning desire, a willingness to work, and they're teachable? See, I came from very humble beginnings. I didn't come from a wealthy family. I didn't have a higher education. I didn't have any experience, any money, any background, but just had a burning desire, a willingness to work, and that hunger. And my life changed when a friend of mine cared enough about me to share with me a product and to share with me an opportunity that literally changed my life. And I made a decision, and I tore up that list of excuses. Decisions shape your destiny. And when I made that decision, then that was it. This was my chance. And I had reached a breaking point, a threshold, a moment in time, a defining moment where I was no longer going to live like this anymore. I wanted more out of life. I knew that Jim Rohn had said, Jeff, for things to change, you got to change. And for things to get better, you've got to get better. You can have more in life if you become more in life and see things not the way they are, but the way they can become. And so with that, I tore up that list of excuses that we all have. I tell people you can either make excuses or you can make money, but you can't make both. All excuses, all distractions are equal when you have a job to do. And I decided when I signed up and started my business, my home-based business, that I was going to treat it like a business, not like a hobby. You get out of it what you put into it. It's based on performance. In other words, there's no free lunch here. Nobody can lift your weights for you. The biggest variable in our business is the you part. Not only how you feel about your product and services or how you feel about your opportunity, but how do you feel about your own financial future? How badly do you want it? I always look for somebody that's hungry, that's dissatisfied, has a burning desire, a willingness to work, and teachable. So when I got started, I was a customer first, and then I found out there was an opportunity to share these products and to build a growing customer base and to build an organization and to build residual income and to duplicate your efforts and to work smarter instead of harder in life and come over here and work part-time on your fortune instead of working full-time over here building someone else's dream, right? Where you can have free enterprise and be your own boss and earn what you're worth. So I hit it really hard when I started the business. And I got off to a real fast start. And I came from a position of strength with that voice of authority and that confidence and just being bulletproof and congruent. And really it all came from because I was a product of the product. I truly had that emotional sincerity when I talked to people about our product. And that's what I encourage you to do, is to become a raving fan customer of your product or service. Because it's not what you say, it's how you feel about what you say. People communicate more with feelings than they do words. So the first step for me was to believe in the product, to become my own first customer. And then I realized that if I went out there and I shared this product and built up a customer base and started to build up a team, that I could work hard and build something over the next 3 to 5 years, starting off my business, that could pay me residual income for many years to come. And I'm an example of somebody 30 years later with one company and have the dream, the ultimate dream of building a large organization and having this residual income. So very, very grateful, very, very thankful. Now, what happened to me in the very beginning, when I was in my early 20s, is my father passed away at an early age, and he was in his 40s. I'm the oldest of 3 boys, And I watched the stress kill him of working for someone else, and there was always more month than there was money. And when I saw that, sometimes it's not what happens in life, it's what you do with what happens in life. It's not the event, it's the meaning you give it. And I took the worst day of my life and turned it into the best day of my life, because I used that to propel me to go out there and do something with my life, to do something where I could make a difference and touch and change people's lives and be your own boss and be able to earn what you're worth. So, I got started back when I was in my early 20s. Like I said, I was an ex-broke waiter. I didn't have all this money or experience or background, but just a burning desire and a willingness to work. My why back then, and I'm a big believer in, reasons come first, right? The how part, the how to do the business is one thing, but why you're doing the business. What's going to emotionally charge you? What's going to give you a compelling future? What's going to get you up early, keep you up late? What's going to get you to put in that extra 10% effort that's going to produce 90% of the results? So start peeling the layers of the onion to get down to a why that moves you emotionally, a why that makes you cry. And I'll share with you a quick story. I didn't come from a wealthy family, like I said, and I remember as a little kid sitting in the back of my mom's car, and she was a proud woman, but she didn't have the nicest car. It had some rust on it and some dings on it, and she acted like it didn't bother her, but I knew deep down inside it hurt. And when I first got started, I had a why, not to get myself a new car. The first why that I had on my list is I wanted to buy my mom, buy her a new car, buy her the car of her dreams. So I went to work. And started building my business, working day and night, reinvesting back into my business, staying focused on the paying activities, employing myself, holding myself accountable, being the best distributor of my organization. And after a few years of hard work, I was finally in the position to go out and buy my mom the car of her dreams. And I found this out, what would be her car, and I realized my mom had some pretty good taste. And without her knowing, I went out and bought this car, paid cash for it, put in all the bells and whistles, got the insurance on it, got her a gas card, and she lives up in the mountains. I live down in Florida on the beach, and she's up in the mountains. And on Christmas morning, imagine this. You work hard, you start your business, and on Christmas morning, you got a car sitting outside your mom's house, and it's got a big red bow on it. And the morning dew's on the car, and the sun's coming up, and it's shining on this car. It's just beautiful. It's magnificent. And without her knowing, I've got the car sitting outside. I ask her to come to the front door. She sees the car. I see tears of joy coming down her face. I hand her the keys. I tell her how much I love her, how proud I am to have her as my mother. And I see her crying these tears of joy. And I thought I was the one that was giving. I was the one that was receiving. The floodgates were open. And all of you probably have a why like this. And it was interesting. I shared this story at a big convention that we had with thousands of people. And I was the closing speaker, and she was in the room, and I had a chance to acknowledge her. And after the meeting, she came up to me and she said, Jeffrey Douglas, she would call me. She said, I wish you wouldn't tell that story. You make us sound like we were so poor. And she said, and by the way, that car now is almost 10 years old, and it's a two-wheel drive, and it's a little slippery in the snow. And she goes, don't forget you only have one mother. I said, thank God I can't afford two the way this is going. So I joke about that because I've been able to buy my mom several cars and build her a home in the mountains and a place on the beach. And it's just been very, very rewarding. So my why back then was a really compelling future, something that emotionally charged me and really got me up early and kept me up late. And it was my first why. Now my why's evolved over the years like so many of your whys. Yeah, so when I started my business, it was out of desperation. I was looking for some things to change financially. Today, my why has evolved, and it's out of inspiration. To never forget where you came from, Jeff. To pay it forward, to do something that counts, something that matters, something that gives you meaning and purpose and fulfillment, right? Because, life's not about we or about me, life's about we. And to be able to retire not from your business, but into your business. To refire, not retire, and to never forget where you came from and pay it forward. And there's so much emotional and spiritual revenue. So my why today is to go out there and help as many other people and pay it forward and stay involved, because success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure in life. It's one thing to have the money and the success, but it's another thing to have that fulfillment, something that has that meaning, purpose, that's rich in relationships and love and connection and growth. Aren't you the happiest when you're growing and there's progress? And also contribution. The two spiritual needs, growing and serving. So that's what keeps me plugged in and charged every day to continue to do this business. So that's my why today. So a couple tips I'll share with you on the basics and the fundamentals. One thing you want to get clear on is this: concepts are constant. The basics, the fundamentals will never change. What varies is techniques, the different means and ways that you can do the business. Of course, today, social media is a big part of our business, but that has evolved over the years. I remember when I first started 30 some years ago, the phone was glued to the wall and there was a rotary dial. Anybody remember that? And there was a cord on the phone, and a long distance phone call cost money. So, we thought we were cool and we could fax somebody a piece of paper. But today, look at the technology, look at the tools, look at all the social media platforms, look at all the different means and ways that you can tell the story. And, and if you think about those concepts, those basics, the fundamentals, and you really get clear your mindset of what is your job description? What do you get paid for? You get paid for talking to people. You get paid for sharing the story, right? It's our products and services are sold by word of mouth, one satisfied customer to another. So that's the concept. The techniques, the ways you do that is what varies. The concepts are constant. So I understood my job description, and what I got paid for is to every day onboard new customers, me, go out there and build a growing customer base, share your product, share your service, and number two, retail to recruit. My best team members, my best partners have come from my raving fan customers, people that love our product, love our service, whatever you have that you're marketing. You want to always go out there and build a growing customer base and retail to recruit. And understand this. A few simple disciplines equals multiple rewards. In other words, if you want to have results on your product, you can't take it one day and then miss the rest of the week, right? You got to do it consistency of effort, work habits, and attitude. It's that consistency of the paying activities, sharing your product, sharing your opportunity, building for events, building relationships, understanding the fortunes in the follow-up, the fortunes in the duplication. So understand that what you get paid for is sharing your products, your services, and building a growing customer base. And here's something I'll share with you guys when we talk about, some of the basics and the fundamentals. Always stay in the production stage. Be very careful not to fall in the management stage. What happens is you start to get a few people on your team and you stop producing and you think all you need to do now is just manage your existing organization. Well, that's where you fall into the comfort zone, right? That's where you all of a sudden are not out there producing anymore. You always want to stay in the production stage, no matter what your title is, no matter what your rank is, no matter what your income is. Always go out and produce and put on new customers and new partners, always you personally. The other thing I'll share with you is this, that's really helped me over the years. 80, 15, and 5. 80% of the people that you put on in your business are going to do it part-time, sometime, or no time. And you love them whether they do a little or they do a lot. And you understand that you manage that team by group, and that's just the way it is. Keep them hanging around the flagpole. Keep dripping on them. And then some of them will move up into that 15% where they'll engage at a little higher level. But less than 5% are really going to step up and play at the level that you and I play at, where they take this serious and treat it like a business, not like a hobby. So understand there's this thing called safety in numbers. Safety in numbers, and from that you'll have what's called the law of averages. It's like baseball. If you've ever watched the sport baseball here in the United States, they get up there to swing the bat, and they don't have to bat 1,000%. They can hit the ball 3 out of 10 times and make millions of dollars a year in baseball. So you got to understand that you don't have to bat 1,000%. One of the things that's helped me, a word in my vocabulary, has been the word next. You know, you don't worry about the ones you can't sell. Worry about all the ones you can't see, right? Say less to more people. I've found that sometimes I can't say the right thing to the wrong person. I can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So just understand the safety in numbers, the law of averages, stay in the production stage, 80, 15, and 5, concepts versus techniques, retail to recruit, a few simple disciplines, what's your job description, and I guess in closing, to keep this tight within 20 minutes, is this, a call to action. At the end of the day, you've got to decide, what do you really want from your business? What do you want? What specific, measurable results do you want? Clarity is power. Get it down. Make a decision. And when you make that decision, make a real decision where you say, you know what, Jeff? I'm going to tear up that list of excuses. I'm not going to take this thing for granted. This is my chance. This is my turn now. This is a chance for me to go out and do something that counts, something that matters, something that I can make a difference in the world. And when you have that call to action, when you have that sense of urgency, when you decide to seize the moment, a fear of loss, right? A sense of urgency, that fear of loss. In other words, like every day of work I miss this year, I'm going to have to work 5 days next year to equal the timing. And when you have that type of mindset and you fully engage, you fully immerse, and go after this thing with that enthusiasm and that passion and that congruency. Look, people on your team, distributors don't do what you tell them to do, they do what you do. They watch the feet, not the lips. You want to lead by example. You always go out and put on the most new customers. You put on the most new team members. You stay in the production stage. And success breeds success. That will inspire people on your team more than anything else. So you want to have that emotional sincerity, that congruency, come from a position of strength, have that voice of authority, be bulletproof, but most important, you want to have a servant's heart. The longest journey in life is from the head to the heart. If you're in your head, you're dead. Get out of your head, get into your heart, and always focus on this. Number one, meeting other people's needs. Meet their needs, not your needs, their needs. This business is never about you. It's always about the person in front of you. Number two, add value to their lives. Add value with your product or service. Add value with your opportunity. And then number three, create raving fan relationships. Long-term relationships equal long-term success. So God bless all of you. I hope a few of these tips helped you, and have a great day. And I look forward to seeing all of you real soon. Bye for now.